Welcome in. It's week two, episode dose of the Salty Spittoons TV podcast with the commish and your fave co-commish. Say what's up, fave co-commish.
What's up? I'm your favorite. It me.
Yeah, and then we're just gonna start it right off. We got our segment back now that we had a lot of football happen last week, a lot of tears, a lot of players not showing up, a lot of Achilles tears.
Damn.
Sad to see, but let's start it off with contender pretender. Who is your contender this week? I know it's week one. I know there's a lot of players that are getting a lot more attention than they should have. A lot of teams that showed up that maybe shouldn't have, got lucky. Currently, who's your contender? Who actually, looking past all the bullshit, whose team actually looks solid? And we're gonna
Okay.
start it off with you. Yeah.
Okay. Now, mind you, I'm not saying I think this is a team that can win the championship. I'm just saying this team might not be as bad as we thought they were. Which it might be a hot take, but Mezcal Poppy, for as much as we all were
What?
like, what's the word I want? Maybe flabbergasted by his draft. Once you put the players in the lineups and you roll the balls out, you let the game play, he scored pretty decently. And that those starters are going to be able to play. Dalvin Cook had a little bit of a bigger role than probably if most of us thought he would. So you swap him in there,
Mm.
and there's a little bit of substance to that team. I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not saying he's going to be a championship contender, but I am saying I don't think this is a cakewalk week like everybody's saying it's a bye week. I don't think it's going to be a bye week every week. So I'm gonna give him some props there. I mean, shit.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, I mean he didn't even have the lowest score, and he didn't even know it. Maybe we'll get to that later. But yeah, that's what I've got. Who do you got for your contender?
It's gonna be Tex-Mex. I know there's a lot of hype, obviously being highest score and all. Congrats also on the highest scoring for Tex-Mex on taking week one highest score. Um, I don't think it's all gimmick. I do, first of all, that Tua Hill stack, fucking crazy. Tony Pollard is
Yeah.
the RB1 for the Dallas Cowboys, and are they back? Is this their year?
Is
And
this Texas?
is it and legit, dude, like Bijan is real. Bro, I am fucking nervous as fuck. And I do see that she has some depth in there too. Zay Flowers. I think she has a team to make it to the playoffs to guarantee her seat in the playoffs, barring injury. At Tex-Mex did her fucking research this year.
What was it's okay if you don't remember. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think it was in that sketch comedy show, all that, like way back in the day, Amanda
Goddamn.
Bynes, Drake, all of them. But they had a segment that was like, and in my head, this is how I hear it, so it might not actually be this, but this is how I'm hearing it. It's the girls' room, and they were like all in the bathroom, like the four girls, and they were like,
Hmm.
whatever, right? But that might be the playoffs this year. She might be running this. She might be Amanda Bynes. This actually might be
Dude,
the girls' room. Like it might be different. It might be a little different this year. But
legit.
if that hit for anybody, I'm happy it did. But it just was on my mind. So
The memories.
just
Um,
blurted out.
All right. Next is the Pretenders. This is literally looking through all of the hype that just happened, especially for this one team. I think they just had, I mean, yes, they could have beat more than half of the team. They were the second highest score, but I just think this was the ceiling of his team. And I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid that that is his ceiling. Yes, 122 points is good, but I don't think he's going to be hitting his ceiling every single week in and out. And it's going to be Culero. Like it was a dominant win. but sniffing through it, like looking through everything else, looking at his bench, looking at I like his roster, but Daniel Jones, man, yeah, he'll do better, but I don't know if Jordan Love is it. I think the Bears are not the best this year, and I don't think Kuleto is a contender, and I think he is a pretender, in my personal opinion.
And then I'm not going too far away for my pretender, early season pretender, just
Hmm.
somebody who I was envious of during the draft. Like I really was like, fuck, that guy got me a couple times. Um, then week one rolls around and their score is basically the same as mine. And I didn't even like my draft. So I think I was maybe a little too high on rookie with a dicky because I maybe
Don't
I'm
do him like that, bro. Don't do the man. It's his
hey,
first year.
all I'm gonna say is I like I said, I liked his draft. I don't think it's that. I just think maybe some of these players aren't who we thought they were. Pierce did not run as efficiently as I thought. He didn't play as many snaps as I thought he would. Kyle Pitts is always fool's gold. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just he ain't it. I I don't want to get into that. Yeah, I have him in another league and it hurts my feelings.
It's hard, yeah.
Um, the receivers too. I think the receivers is really where the trouble is. Is he going to get consistent play out of the receivers he has on his team? And if not, this is a half PPR, man. Catches are worth more than carries, so you're really going to have to value that.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, so that's why I think that there's a little bit of pretender dust sprinkled on him.
Yeah, yeah. All right. And then what we've been waiting for, power rankings. I mean, unfortunately, we don't have the Pappy right now. Maybe give it to you later on in the episode, or we'll see what happens. But for now,
Stay
you're gonna
tuned.
just have stay tuned. Power rankings. So we're kind of doing a little bit something a little bit different this year. We have the list of the original power rankings on our left and the new power rankings on our right. So starting off with a big time riser, moving up. Well, I guess not big
Big
time. I mean, we
time.
already kind of moving up
Oh,
one
a
spot,
whole one.
a whole one.
Shattering that
Is
glass ceiling.
is Tex-Mex Anna, dude? Like fucking convincing ass win. Like I know I already said it as much as I could in the contender series. I'll let you speak to this one. Why is she our one, I guess?
Man, it's hard to not say everything you already said on the contender
Mm-hmm,
thing,
mm-hmm,
but I'll say that like that that team has the chance to even get better because Bijan you
mm-hmm.
would think could expand his role. Purdy you would and I don't know, I'm not a Purdy believer, but
Yeah, I'm not either.
at the same time I'm no longer a denier. He had a fine game and
Mm-hmm,
if
mm-hmm,
he continues to get more confidence from Shanahan, I could see that offense passing a little more as the season goes on. So I
mm-hmm,
think the
mm-hmm.
thing that we're not factoring in for her and why she's also like another thing that's one, that team could get better. Kendrick could come back.
Yeah,
He could contribute. Bigsby could take food off of ETN's
you
plate.
definitely can. Yeah.
There's a world where that team where we haven't seen the ceiling yet. So I
Mm-hmm,
think that's probably maybe the different thing I can provide for content there.
mm-hmm. And made a decent splash in the waiver wires as well with that what was it, the Jalen Warren pickup?
No,
Oh, sorry. Who was it?
she got I don't know. Who did she get?
Yeah, I
What?
think she picked up Jalen Warren.
No, no, she
Oh,
didn't.
Joshua Kelly. Sorry, Joshua Kelly, who,
Kelly and Kendrick Bourne. She got Kendrick
yeah,
Bourne too.
yeah. I mean,
That's what it was.
she's also making moves. Just getting. I mean, if these two players hit, I mean, especially Joshua Kelly, if for some reason Eckler goes down and shoot, he might not even have to wait for Eckler to go down to really be contributor to this Chargers team. So, all right, who's our number two?
You kind of already mentioned him before, so I don't know how much we're thinking he's really a pretender. Maybe this is a false rank for him, but you
Hmm.
can't deny the results. Big surprise, not surprise, big flashy scores week one for Culero.
Hmm.
And while I can see some of the skepticism, you can't deny he's got two of the best receivers in the game with Jefferson and Chris Olave. Pittman, I like probably a little more than most people do as well. I think he does too. Hence by where he drafted him.
Mhm.
And there's some upside. I'm like I said, I'm one of those guys that I think catches count more than carries. So when you got
Yeah.
receivers like that, you're gonna have the high upside potential, and I think that's what is going to if things stay on course, it's going to keep him buoyed up in the high score contention every week.
Yeah. Yeah. And then at number three, um, quite a change as well. This is another one that like kind of rose up, kind of had a good idea that his team was kind of going to be good.
One
That
step
one,
again.
it's Diego, man. Like I mean, had a pretty good win against you, and his team showed up. I think his floor, I think this was his floor really at like around 100-ish. And if he just continues that, I mean, he could even, I mean, just having that consistency of like 100 points, like, yeah, I know we kind of make a joke about it, but I think that is Diego's floor, and it is going to make a difference talking about going into the playoffs, at least reaching that. And I do believe that he does have a solid team here. What do you have for number four?
So taking over Diego's old spot, we just got a couple of one step
Yeah, yeah.
risers coming up. So Savage, I know you didn't like your ranking last week. You're probably not gonna like it this week, but you come in at 4. Yeah, I mean, and no one's saying you didn't have a good game. 109 is solid. That was up there. That was just behind Diego. So
Yeah.
you did well. Your team is flipped from last year. You're heavier on the running backs this year, which always gives you a good floor, because the
Mhm.
touches are there. He's got Chase for some upside. I think the quarterbacks is what is going to make or break this
Yeah,
team.
that's what is preventing me from putting Savage higher. Really, like it just comes down to Russell Wilson,
That's
and
tough. Yeah.
it's hard, man. And it I didn't personally watch the game completely, but I don't think Russell Wilson has it anymore. I don't know. It's just a different system after a different system. And I don't think Russell Wilson is adapting. And that's my problem with at least his
And that
QB there. And then go ahead.
that expands too because he's got Judy and Marvin Mims. So if Russell Wilson isn't doing well, that's two players that he's occupying on his roster that aren't doing well. So
Yep.
so it's not the team I would have doubled down on, but you know, so far working out
Yeah.
for him. I mean,
Yeah.
like I
And
said,
then
he scored up.
going up to to five, I mean, we got a riser, someone coming in hot. Oh, 6.
6.
We forgot we still need to talk about rookie, bro.
No. Oh shit! I
Yeah.
see. You know what? It did confuse me. We talked about it in the pre-show, like making these
Yeah,
changes. It
yeah,
was
we
going to
did.
confuse me or not. It did. And I'm Ron Burgundy.
Hi, I'm Ron Burgundy. Rookie, don't want to skip over you. You're a riser this week. Yes, you did get beat by your brother, but I think you still had put up a decent amount of points, and that's because your team really didn't show up. And honestly, ETN just did most of the work for your team. And I see Kirk Cousins coming back next week. I see Josh Allen. It was a weird game overall there, and I think your team has the possibility of doing better. And obviously, I think it did better than everybody else's team, and that was, I mean, on the floor end of what your team could potentially do. That's why we have you moving up to number five, and finally rounding it out and staying the same. Really, do you want to say it, Tony?
Yeah. We got Lil Chubb moving from a Lil Chubb to maybe a semi Chubb. I mean, a little back-to-back weeks in the power rankings. It's been a while since we could say that for him, but
Yeah,
he's put up 90. Did enough to beat you, and
yeah,
and
basically.
and Diggs is still there. There's some upside here. Burrow's not going to score 3 points again. Just not going to
Is
happen.
not. Yeah, there's no way.
Um, I think the things that I like about this team is we talked about steak and potatoes before, this is a real steak and potato team. Like Jacobs gonna have touches, Ramondre gonna have touches, Hopkins gonna have targets. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of count on the floor with this team. I'm in and kind of something that's probably keeping us from putting him higher is where's the sizzle? Like I see some steak, I want some sizzle.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
and I don't know that it's there with Moore, Robinson, or some of these other options, but
Mm-hmm.
something I think you can hang your hat on, and I don't think we're going to see him fall out of the ranks next week. So that's Chubb.
Yeah, I can see that. And then finally, getting into matchups and pick them, we're gonna kind of like shoot them off fairly quickly. I think. Well, I guess we have three disagreements with these matchups and pick 'em. We have two that are kind of the same, so those will be quick. And starting it off, it's gonna be rookie against Savage. It's not a fun matchup, but can Savage stay undefeated of that 1-0? And I believe he cannot. I believe Rookie's going to come in with that upset. I think he has the better matchups this week. Um, I think he has the better matchups, especially with Kirk Cousins against Philly. Again, Deshaun Watson's going against Pittsburgh, an even more tough defense. And that's because he didn't do too hot even against that Bengals defense that is a little bit lower tier. Russell Wilson against the Commanders, that's also a tough matchup. I think it just comes down to rookie with a Dookie having the better matchups this week. And I think you also agreed with me, so we can just move on to the next one unless you have something else to bring in.
Nah, you got it.
Yeah. Okay. Coming at number two, the Commish Bowl,
The
bro.
Commish Bowl.
It's sad. It's sad. I hate to play you sometimes. It's just like I want you to win and you
Oh,
want me
and I
to
want
win.
you to win. Yeah, that's who I picked. I picked you. Let me tell you real quick. Let me guess you up real quick. Let me see. I know Lamar. I love me some Lamar, and I don't think they're gonna turn the ball over. I think it's one of those things. Probably the Ravens were surprised by the Texans. Like the defense was better than
I
they
think they
thought.
definitely were. Yeah. Like
But
I mean, shit, I believe that they sat Mark Andrews because they weren't as worried about the Texans. But I mean, I could.
yeah, they're like, we got this. Just go out there,
Hmm.
Lamar, do your thing, have fun, whatever.
Hmm.
Then they realize, oh shit, I guess we got to play them a little bit harder. But I think the main thing with your team is like Brees Hall, Tyler Algier already look like better values than what you drafted for. So
Hmm.
plugging those running backs in gives you some versatility to kind of go for some guys who are on better teams. So that's some touchdown upside. I think that's kind of what I'm leaning on, seeing an improvement with your team. And then if you get Andrews back, it's a wrap. Tengo miedo. I don't want it. That's why I picked you.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm disagreeing there. I'm picking you just because you have a lot of that Eagles team that just didn't show up last week. This week against Minnesota, it should be a high score. I mean, a scoring affair, at least you would think,
It
right?
better be. It
And
better be.
I mean, it better be, yeah. And then you also have Geno Smith that's playing the Lions, dude. Geno's only projected 15 points against the Lions. I think Gino makes a comeback against the Lions, and I mean I think it's going to be a high scoring affair there. Waller, assuming he's not injured, they're playing Arizona, dude. Like I think what's his name? The quarterback for the Giants
Daniel Jones.
is Daniel Jones is going to eat. He's going to definitely make a step forward. The Arizona Cardinals are not the Cowboys. I think you have a slight better matchups than
Roof.
I do this week. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And then, so the next matchup is going to be Jay Molly against Diego. And I have Diego taking it, dude. Like, I see the potential Josh has. Obviously he's got Mahomes, he's got Goff, and they're against Seattle. Again, another matchup that should theoretically be high scoring. But I look at Diego's team, Trey Lance against Casey. I think that's an underrated match. I think Justin Fields against Tampa. I think Justin Fields is going to have to use his legs. He's going to make a comeback from last week's game. I think he's going to start running the ball again. a bit more. And I do believe that his running backs have the better matchups. His wide receivers have the better matchups as well. So, I mean, that's kind of what it came down for me. What about you?
Mahomes bounced back. Goff against Seattle, and Seattle just got their asses whooped by a lesser team. Matchups. Plays the Chicago Bears. Goes against the New York Giants, who got fucking throttled. Goes against the Cardinals. Goes against the Baltimore team that got, put up points on by the Texans. So
They
matchups,
did.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just seeing all the matchups on the, on my screen. Jay Molly's team's on the left, and I like all those matchups.
Hmm.
So I think he's just in for one. I think a big week. Actually, I'm gonna call it. I think he puts up over 110, which I which compared to what he did last week is big. I know it's not really up to his projection,
Hmm.
but the projections in sleep are wild anyways. I don't really go off the
Yeah.
projections. Um, but I'm seeing it. I think he can dial it up. He's got high score of the week upside.
Hey, all right. All right. Heard it here. First, hot take. Number four. It's gonna be the Mezcal thrashing, maybe. It's Tex Mexana against Mezcal. And I'll let you talk about this one actually.
We both picked Anna. Fair enough. You cannot
Hmm.
not pick her after the week that she just had. And it's not like the matchups are terrible, like I'm looking through San Francisco for Higby, but she doesn't have to play Higby. She could go pick up
Hmm.
a tight end. Um, what it's going to come down to for her is the Dolphins against New England.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if we believe that New England can slow that attack down, turns out we don't. We think the Dolphins are still
Yeah.
going to go. But that does open the room for Mescal Poppy, because if we're wrong about the Dolphins and the New England defense, then he could have the chance for an upset special. And he does have some good matchups on his side too. A Rich against Houston.
Yeah. Rookie
Oh
against rookie.
shit, man. But A Rich with that rushing upside, man. He got goal line work and
Hmm.
everything. Like I'm impressed by that young man. Ken Walker against Detroit, Chris Godwin against Chicago, Mac Jones against Miami, and Miami was already in a shootout. Herbie went off on them, so I don't see why Mac Jones couldn't. And he just put bars up on the Eagles. So I mean, slip Cook in, maybe take out Cakers because that San Francisco matchup's rough, and there's upset potential here. We can't do it because we don't think that New England Patriots are going to really slow down the Dolphins like that, but I could see the
Hmm.
case.
Yeah. Yeah. And Anna's gonna be staring down Kelsey. Little bittersweet there.
That's true.
So that's gonna be a tough one. All right, and then finally rounding it out, Battle of the Undefeateds right now. I'm kind of happy about that setup where the only two teams are undefeated going against each other. Or not the only two, but basically the one team's got to go to 1-1, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, right? So it's Cool Little Chub. My vote is Cool Little because I I might be a Jordan Love truther. I
Very good.
don't love Daniel Jones, but I do again believe that Daniel Jones is gonna do really good against Arizona. I don't think their defense is that great. I love Justin Jefferson against the Eagles. I love Chris Olave against the Carolina Panthers.
Chris Hokage. That's what it sounded
Chris
like you said.
Okage, Austin Eckler, dude. If they can't run it, they're gonna just throw him the ball against Tennessee, who, I mean, is just giving up receiving yardage. And I don't love Joe. I don't know if I believe in Joe Burrow making a comeback, at least against Baltimore, because they did still do pretty good this last week against CJ Stroud and that passing attack that the Texans are trying to establish. And then again, you also have Dak Prescott, who's playing the Jets, dude. Watching that game, if I believe that Dak Prescott can perform as around the same as Josh Allen in terms of the four interceptions. I can see that happening. for the Cowboys.
I'm not normally the one who does this on the show, but
Mhm.
you talked me into it. I am switching my pick also to Culero. So
Live tilt.
it was Lil Chubb, and I do think Burrow's gonna have a comeback game. Um, but you're highlighting some really good matchups, and you're right. I think he's gonna have some guys really eat. And
Mhm.
Tampa Bay's a little better than we thought they were. Philly's a good defense. He plays a lot of those guys. I mean, maybe if he's got the juice to try to really bleed the matchup against the Carolina Panthers and start like Derek Carr and Jamison Williams. I'm sorry, not
Yeah.
Jamison Williams, Jamal
Oh,
Jamal
Jamal, yeah.
Williams. Maybe that neutralizes Olave a little bit, and maybe that's
Mhm.
kind of what I was like. Oh, maybe play those guys. I'm switching. I think you got it.
Yeah, but that's about it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the match and pick 'em. Whether you agree, disagree, let us know in the comments section of the chat. And that's about it. Any last words before we log out?
Just like and subscribe. Hope you guys are liking the show. Um, let's see some trades, man. Go out and improve your team. Don't be so scared. And thanks for spending all your fab so I can make a big bid on the next guy. Peace.
Goddamn. All right, peace.
Ding dong. Special delivery for a mezcal poppy.
I thought we already finished the show. What
Yeah,
do we
yeah.
got here?
So we got a telegram from at Tex Mexana herself.
Did
Wants me to
somebody
read it
call
out
me?
loud.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wants me
yeah,
to
we
read it
did.
out loud to you.
Oh, somebody
In
summoned
this
me?
in this telegram, she's asking you if you have a natural disaster kit.
Hit.
If I have a what?
A natural disasters kit.
A natural disaster? Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
some, what was that thing, that medicine that you do for radon poisoning? And then I got all that shit's under my staircase.
Yeah, Vaporub.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
Vaporub.
Vicks Vaporub.
And I got a one banana in there. I switch it out every week.
Well, this disasters kit actually, you're gonna need to prepare for this tuonomy that's about to happen.
The Tuanami.
Yeah,
The
the tuonomy.
Tuanami.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that it?
And that she's expecting some Zay flowers after her win.
Okay, here we go. Your team is so sad that it had to get consolation from a Jets fan. Okay, your roster is so slim that they call it shady and it goes on tour. Okay, when I drafted Kelsey, I heard a huge sigh of relief, and I think it was Travis himself. I got a call later that night, and it was some deep voice thanking me. He said,
Tell me
"Thank
how
you so
you
much.
really feel.
Thank you, Poppy. Thank you for getting me out of there.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna see you later tonight with my mustache." That's what he said. Okay. Also, imagine drafting a guy that sells mustard. Okay, who does that? Well, are you here to play football? You're here to sell mustard. Imagine drafting a Longhorn. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Also, I don't care that you hurt your elbow. That's it.
Damn.
Yes, live reactions right now.
Imagine having Savage Dab as a brother. Couldn't be any better.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I still can't get over the tsunami. The tsunami.
Dude, the tsunami.
Somebody was too scared to show up on camera, though.
That's why she didn't show up. She's busy, but she's busy.
She's
like,
busy. She's
I can't.
busy.
I can't deliver this. Okay. Can we change our power rankings? Is it too late?
Hey, you guys want to go over the poppy?
Yeah.
We got a poppy?
No. I'm going to go over two major changes that are coming. It's not been implemented. But for you poppy nerds out there that keep up with my metrics, there's two changes. One, we're going to have less reliance on PA and PF. Okay? No longer are you reinforcing the already good scores that you have overall in your league. Now we're going to take a trailing metric for the last 3 performances. Okay? So now you got to keep your shit up. 2, now we're not going to measure you against the whole league. because your number one contender is yourself. All right. So we're measuring what you do, not against what Coolero does or what Rookie with the Dookie does, because they're unreachable. You can't reach them. This year they're gonna go to great heights. Okay. And I'm telling you that Coolero is gonna be in the top 3. Okay. Anyway, now we're measuring you against yourself. So those are the 2 big changes coming, and then me and co-commish over here are gonna have some new ideas coming to you live. No AI. AI is fake news.
Yeah, it's fake news. You heard it here first.
Yeah. So that's the Terminator.
That's it. All right, guys. I'm gonna go cuddle with Travis Kelce.
All right. So now, is it safe to close out the show? We got any other telegrams?
Yeah, I think so. No telegrams.
We already did our salutations.
Yeah, we did.
Don't come over to my house anymore with no damn tuanamis. I need a different level of telegram. If you do that again, come up on the show. I need to look at you in the eyes when you disrespect this platform. George had a bad stinker in there too, but I forgot what it was.
He did.
All right. Peace.
It was a Slim Shady one.